Do you think you're too young to be thinking about marriage?
Yes.
No way, I don't think I'm too young to be thinking about marriage as long as I find the right girl.
Yeah, I think I'm too young to be thinking about marriage because I'm only 16 and it's too young to get married.
I'm only 18, I'm still in high school. I think I should be concentrating on like college and just getting my life together first.
That's too much of a commitment.
Not ready for that at all.
No, definitely not. I love marriage. I think it's a great thing for everybody.
I think marriage is something you should take your time to think about and really develop into it.
Well, I think I'm too young to get married because I'm still 17 and I still got my whole life to live. And I want to go to college, do things with my life.
No, I think any time that you start thinking is the right time for yourself.
I've been in a long relationship, and there were times when I felt that I was good, but then when I see it went bad, I realized just how young I really was.
I don't think I'm too young because I'm 18, and I'm going to get married probably in like 5 or 10 years, so I think I should start planning it.
No, I do not think I'm too young to be thinking about marriage because I feel like young girls, no matter what age they are, they're always going to be thinking about marriage. Like, I was thinking about marriage ever since I was like 5. Like, it's just always something that comes to mind, like how you want your wedding to be. I guess not necessarily who you're going to be marrying, but like, I don't know, just like the basics of it.
You date, you have to, you're not with someone for no reason. You're with someone to see them, be with them for the future. So you have to think about who fits you for the future. I am waiting for, praying for you, darling. Wait for me to wait for me as I wait for you.
What are you singing?
Wait for Me by Rebecca St. James. It's like my favorite song. When I listen to it, I think about my future husband waiting for me.
Kristen, you're only 16. Don't you think you're a little bit too young to be thinking about marriage?
Absolutely not. I mean, teenagers should be thinking about marriage. You gotta pray about it. It's coming.
I guess you're right. I never really looked at it that way. What about you? Do you think you're too young to think about marriage?
That's what we'll be talking about today. Hi, everyone. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Matt.
And this is Real Faith TV. Preparing for your marriage when you're a teenager is a great thing. When I say preparing, I don't mean picking the guy, reserving the church, and the DJ. I mean preparing yourself for marriage. For instance, one of the ways I'm preparing for marriage is by staying chaste.
I guess it really is a new way of looking at it. The obvious answer is we're too young. We'll get our studio guest views on this topic, as well as hear more from the teens on the street a little bit later in the show.
But first, let's meet our spotlight guests, Danny and Alma. Danny and Alma are engaged.
They will give us their thoughts on marriage and if they think teenagers are too young to think about marriage.
Thinking about marriage, I don't think I ever thought about getting married as a teenager because there's so much else going on in life. But to think about it, it's definitely a beautiful thing, marriage. It's a sacrament. When I think about marriage, I think about, children and owning a home. It's kind of a cool thing to think about, but before, I think about that and actually, moving toward that direction, there's a lot of other things that I should be thinking about, like school, what college I'm gonna go to. Because if I'm not prepared, if I can't take care of myself later in life, then how am I gonna be able to take care of a marriage? So another individuals.
Like if you don't get ready by yourself, then you won't be able to give the other something. My advice will be focus on growing up, so then you can share something with the other and growing up together.
Yeah, we're engaged. So Alma and we got engaged in January, and we both feel very blessed that we're gonna get married and we're gonna spend the rest of our lives with each other.
Traits to aspire towards as we prepare for marriage are many of the same traits that help us prepare for a happy and joyful life in general.
For me, working on having a good, solid relationship with God has helped me in all aspects of my life. I hope that it will also help me when it comes to my decision to marry and who to marry.
Let's meet our studio guests and see how they feel about this.
They are Patrick, Christina, Phil, Ijama, Dan, Annie, and Nick.
So do you guys think we're too young to think about marriage, or do you ever think about it yourself?
I think we're too young to think about marriage because, I'm only 16. I didn't graduate high school yet. I'm not even sure what college I want to go to. So I don't think I should be thinking about who I'm going to marry.
I disagree. I think you're never too young to think about marriage. My mom got married at 17, so for a while I always thought, that's the age to get married. So when I was younger, I always thought about, what should I do to prepare myself for marriage?
Everyone kind of thinks about it. For myself, I've thought about it, not to the point where I'm about to go out and get myself engaged, but I'm kind of preparing myself for what God gives me, which will hopefully end up with a happy marriage.
I think you're never too young. Like, we should always be looking at qualities in other people that I would like that in my future spouse, or I really don't like that quality. I really don't see that would complement our relationship at all. So it's never too young to think about. You should always be looking at other people and kind of seeing what's best for you.
Yeah, I look at it in a more practical sense. Like, I think, what could I do to prepare myself for marriage and what's going to happen during it? Like, I think, how am I going to settle myself down and be ready to make that next step? Like, I can't be worrying about college and school and stuff and marriage. I want to get all that done. I want to get my career set and then, like, prepare myself really for marriage, to settle down and see who I want to share my entire life with, all my successes and my failures. I have to worry about all that.
Yeah, I agree with Phil.
I notice a lot of the kids on the streets confuse getting married with preparing for marriage.
Right, I agree. I don't think many of us are thinking about getting married anytime soon, but it's good to think about it for the future.
I like to consider marriage a lifelong commitment. It is a process that begins from the day you're born all the way up to marriage itself, especially in self-control, because when you practice self-control, you're able to make a total and full gift of yourself to your spouse.
Marriage is a way to live out our vocation, which is the holiness God calls us to discover in our own heart.
We may not all be called to marriage. Some of us may be called to religious life or the single life.
What we do to get ready for our marriage is similar to what we do to prepare for any of life's vocations.
This preparation of self-discovery and relationship with God can even help us realize our own vocation.
Next, let's go back to the teens on the street and find out if they want to get married.
And if they think there's anything they can do to prepare now for marriage.
I want to get married when I find the right person, somebody I know I want to be with.
I want to get married eventually.
But if I find the right girl, yeah, I will get married.
Yeah, of course. I'd like to have a little bit of Kevin's running around someday, coach them through sports, let them know what I think about them, teach them life lessons, maybe learn from my mistakes.
Right now I'm trying to have fun, trying to live my life and get set financially before I even come up with that decision.
Be 7-10 years, probably. I think it's always best if you wait till you're actually sure.
Yeah, later, when I'm 30, because I like to have a family.
Yes, I do want to get married.
Oh, yes, I think every girl dreams about her wedding day and being married.
Oh, I just want a husband and I want a family, children, lots of kids and all that nice stuff.
Yes, sometime I would like to get married because I like to eventually settle down and have a family.
What could you be doing now to prepare for a lifelong marriage?
I don't think there's anything I could do about it now.
Staying single, not meeting anybody till I'm 28.
I don't really know right now because I'm still too young.
I think finance is one of the biggest things, to be able to have a family, take care of them.
I guess right now I could just be concentrating on doing well in school so I could get a good job and then become a little bit successful so I could have enough money to buy a house and get married.
Just finding the right person for marriage.
Just dating, I guess.
I think you should just go on with life to understand what you really want from life. Have the experience that you want to have, because after marriage, it's like you're locked down.
Staying healthy, be a good person, try to be a good role model for everyone else.
Abstinence. And just, focusing on school, college, I guess, doing the right thing, jobs.